that way, and they don't even like say anything to initiate it. They just are, and someone's attacking them for who they are without even being provoked.
Welcome to Invite Sent. We are a live streaming show where we interview people and play video games.
Help is on the way, dear.
Did he make it in? Did he get all 20? Yes, way to go. If you'd like to be on Invite Sent, be interviewed, and play video games, please go to bubbagatter.com and request to be on the show. And I'll let you know if the invite is sent. Yeah, get him.
There you go.
Welcome to Invite Sent. Boom! It's an issue with our industry for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Bubba, being in the fighting game community is a hot take for anybody watching.
If you're feeling uncomfortable, imagine how often and how regularly the person you're trying to stand up for feels that way, and they don't even like say anything to initiate it. They just are, and someone's attacking them for who they are without even being provoked.
Welcome to Invite Sent. We are a live streaming show where we interview people and play video games.
Help is on the way, dear.
Did he make it in? Did he get all 20? Yes, way to go. If you'd like to be on Invite Sent, be interviewed, and play video games, please go to bubbagatter.com and request to be on the show. And I'll let you know if the invite is sent. Yeah, get him.
There you go.
Welcome to Invite Sent. Boom! It's an issue with our industry for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Bubba, being in the fighting game community is a hot take for anybody watching.
If you're feeling uncomfortable, imagine how often and how regularly the person you're trying to stand up for feels that way, and they don't even like say anything to initiate it. They just are, and someone's attacking them for who they are without even being provoked.
Welcome to Invite Sent. We are a live streaming show where we interview people and play video games. Hello, and welcome to Invite Sent. Thank you guys so much for being here, dropping in the chat. Lots of folks right now dropping the chat on Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn and Kick and Twitch. So much fun. Instagram. Thank you guys for being here. Excited to get into the action today. If you were around earlier this week, we played some pinball earlier this week. Oh, I've never played that on a game. That was actually difficult. Pinball with Heidi Albin from Generation Esports, and then played some other games in the past. Hello, how are you, Aurora? Thanks for being here, Ellen. Yeah, welcome. We're going to play some Genshin Impact today. It's going to be so much fun. And I'm going to bring in actually my guest because she knows a lot more about this game, and I'm excited to get all the skinny on it all. But I'm gonna bring in my amazing guest, Adrieanne Moliere. How are you today?
Hi, I am doing awesome. What about yourself?
I am super. I'm so excited to hang out and play and like just get to know what's going on. And I'm here in Kansas City, and you're in Louisiana, right? You're in Baton Rouge?
Yes, I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, originally from New Orleans.
Okay.
I have to claim that because there's always a lot of beef in Louisiana.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we have the Kansas and Missouri side beef here because, you know, Kansas City is two states. A lot of people don't, I didn't know that, and I lived real close in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
There's a Kansas side and Missouri side.
Who claims the Chiefs?
At both sides, but Missouri, it's on the Missouri side and of Kansas City. Yeah. Gasp.
Wow.
Yeah. It's still, yeah, everybody, we all I don't say I'm from the suburb I live in. I say I'm from Kansas City, and it makes a whole lot more sense because even we're my wife and I were moving over to London in July, here in 2 months. I'm gonna go teach at the College of Esports, and I can't tell them. They know Kansas City, they know Patrick Mahomes, they know all that stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
all
let's let's get rolling in some Genshin Impact. I want to ask you while we start is, what was the first game you played growing up?
The
First video game. Mm-hmm.
The first game I I played, ooh, growing up. Okay, so it wasn't my game. It was my brother's game, but it was probably Pokemon Stadium on like
Pokemon
Nintendo 64.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got it late when I was growing up.
That's awesome. And what platform was it on? What console?
I believe it was my brother's Nintendo 64. All I remember is having the gray controller.
Yeah.
In my hand, and my brother being really scared of me having it in my hand at all.
Like he was worried you'd break it or something?
Oh yeah, I may have been like 6 or 7, and they broke all my Barbie dolls, so I would have been justified had I broke it, but no, I loved Pokemon growing up, and then I saw Pikachu on the screen, and then I saw Eevee, and I was like, oh my god, I want to play, and my mom made them let me.
How many siblings do you have?
Ooh, okay.
This is gonna be a journey.
Well, people are always shocked. I have 7 older siblings.
Okay.
So there's 8 of us in total.
Is that like a Brady Bunch thing, or is it like?
It literally is, because there's 4 boys and 4 girls, and it goes girl, boy, boy, girl, boy, girl to me.
Wow.
So people knew us when we walked around. They were like, oh, here come the Molieres. I was like, represent, that's us.
You're like, we're gonna need a couple waiters to the room here. We're gonna need a few wait staff to help out with all these kids.
It's funny you say that, because people always think I'm being dramatic when I describe dinner with my family growing up. Because if you didn't eat quick, you had to wait till the next round, because and I would be starving, and my brothers would grab multiple hot dogs, multiple hamburgers, multiple pieces of pizza, and my mom would be like, you have to wait till the next round. I was like, the struggle.
That's funny. So Pokemon, did you play Pokemon Go ever?
Oh god, yeah, I still play Pokemon Go. I'm level 39. I'm trying to get up to 40. I don't like the update because I don't like the way my avatar looks anymore.
Yeah.
It's not
what they change?
To the game. The animation of it. So your avatar, there's more hairstyles, there's more skin colors and everything, but my hair is like really, really curly. Yeah. And if you watch anime, the way they always show curly hair is those really thick hairspray looking spiral. And I'm like, that's not what my hair looks like. So wow, it's rough. Okay. Yeah. It's rough out here.
You know, I'd love to jump into that conversation here in a little bit, is the character development and what games are doing it what games are doing it great, what games need some work. There's plenty of those. There's plenty of games who over-sexualize the game characters for many years. I was just working with my interns. We were working on some content around which I got this idea from not Ready Player One. No, it's Ready Player Two, and the idea of the first heroine to be demoted to hero is what the poem or whatever was in the challenge. And you know, most people were thinking like Seamus from Metroid, but it was Sega Ninja from Japan, and it was Ninja Princess, and it was in Japan as that, but it became Sega Ninja with a boy ninja, and then now you're saving the princess. So it was very fun. So after that kind of world in the 80s to the 40 years of over-sexualized characters with little clothing, and then, you know, save the princess, be the hero.
Oh yeah, my mom did not like Chun-Li's outfit growing up. And Chun-Li's my girl.
That's
so I was like, I'm not gonna dress like that. but she's the only girl character that I can play.
Sure.
And Cammy was the other option. I was like, that's not much better.
Right,
so,
right.
Yikes.
Yeah, and even Street Fighter 6 is much different now graphically wise, but in the early Street Fighter days, I mean, even though it may have been block characters, it's still. Yes, your mom was probably it sounds like she was saying you're gonna dress like that if you watch that.
Yes.
Is that where it was going?
Very much so. She had concerns that I would want to dress like that, but now people do dress like that, and we call it cosplay, and it's dope. So, like, actually, it would have been a great use of my time. So
interesting. Yeah, that's a very good point. Do you cosplay?
I want to. My brother cosplays a lot, and so I do his wigs
cool.
for him. And I've always had like an appreciation for people that do cosplay and people that do every piece of it, because I think the year he dressed up as Sora, Sora's wig took me 8 hours, I think, and I still hated it. I still didn't like it at the end. It didn't come out the way I wanted to, but when he put it on and I saw it, I was like, oh wow, this actually looks amazing.
That's crazy. So it was just all over the place, big spiky anime Sora hair?
Okay, Bubba, you see, Sora's hair is not just all over the place. He's got the part. He has the part going on, and he's got big spikes.
I obviously know nothing about hair. I have no hair under this hat. I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts, though.
I love
that. Is my jam.
Can't wait till the next one. Don't understand the story where they're going, but I don't care. I'm gonna play it anyway.
I didn't know there was another one coming.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's based in the real world. It's like Sora and Riku are like in Tokyo for some reason. And I don't even care that people are mad about it. I'm excited for it.
Out of the three, which one do you say? And this is controversial what you're about to say. But I don't it doesn't bother me at all. But what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts video game?
You know what? That's what I thought you were leaning into, but my brain went to, out of the main three characters, who do you simp for? And I was like, oh, okay.
And who is that, first of all?
Who do you think?
You say Sora, but I feel like it's Riku or.
Of course it's Riku.
Yeah, it's Riku. What's the other guy, the other bad guy that messes with Riku's mind at the early on?
Oh,
the blonde
Xehanort.
hair?
No, wait. Oh, Roxas or Xehanort?
Yeah. I am bad with names, but I know he looks he was smoldering. That's all I remember.
Oh yeah, I think that's Xehanort. Then he messes with Riku's mind. Yeah. But no, he's evil, so we can't.
So Riku it is.
Yeah, it's Riku all day, every day. But back to your question.
Yes, okay, 1, 2, or 3.
Favorite is Kingdom Hearts 2, because it's beautiful. Utada Hikaru and the music. Even though that new song in Kingdom Hearts 3 with Skrillex was, I pumped that at the gym. Oh yeah.
I haven't finished 3, and I'm replaying 2 right now. I need to.
Finish 3.
I need to.
Finish 3.
There's so many games, and I'm a variety gamer, and obviously I play different games all the time on these shows. And I have never really been a spend money person. Like, even the games I will rent from the library for free just to play for 14 days because I'm so cheap. But I finally bought the whole like 1.5 memory of chains 2, 3 kind of thing on Epic or something. I can't think that's what it is, but.
Yeah, they're coming to Steam as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think it's either Steam or Epic. I can't remember, but I saw it and I was like, take my money.
Well, then let's go to, you talked about Pokemon being like your early game, your first game. What was a go-to game for you middle school and high school?
Middle school, ooh. Middle school, I think we got an Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't lie, I was actually falling out of video games a little bit. And I didn't realize it until I was an adult. So
I feel the same way. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, what games did I play in middle school and high school? I thought I did, but I don't remember.
I'm thinking there's no connection between what I was playing and how I was feeling. But low-key, I don't know, you've probably never heard of this game. A lot of people haven't. It's called Cameo Elements of Power.
Googling.
It's it's like this old game. I think Microsoft made it. But it's about an elf whose evil sister like kidnaps her family, and Cameo can turn into elementals and use their powers to like get through obstacles. Such a fun game. I loved it. It was fun, but the reason why my brother actually bought the game for me, my brother-in-law, and I was low-key falling out of love with games because there were never any girls in them. Like, and the girls, I hate having to be the one to have the conversations with my mom about, now, you know, we're not gonna dress like this, and we don't do da-da-da-da-da. Like, no, like my brothers didn't have to deal with that, but like my mom had to have a full-on conversation with me about the sexualization, about the characters, and it always kind of sucked. I never got to play a game and just have fun playing the game because I'm not thinking about the way the characters are dressed. I'm just like, wow, they're pretty. And so Cameo was this game that I could play. My mom didn't say anything about the way she was dressed, and she looked similar to me. She was finally like an olive toned skin character. She's an elf, so I was super into Lord of the Rings, not because of, you know, the elves or anything.
I was gonna say Legolas, maybe. Am I seeing a trend here with Legolas?
What? Maybe. But yeah, like I loved it, and I loved that game, and my brothers didn't want to play it, so it was awesome because I got the Xbox to myself, and I could play it on my own, and it was just a really good game. I loved it, but like no one's ever heard of it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I'm thinking the cover might look familiar, but I mean, it looks really cool, to be honest.
It was fun. It was fun back in the day. I enjoyed it. And then, let's see, that was middle school. High school, what was I playing? High school was probably, honestly, mostly spent playing Kingdom Hearts. Like, every time a new one came out, I was probably Kingdom Hearts and Street Fighter, I would say.
Nice.
Were probably my games. Like, I played Street Fighter Alpha even when new Street Fighters came out. Like that's just my jam. Yeah. Well,
I think I'm about 10, 12 years older than you. I'm 42 next month. And so I think the whole question about middle school and high school, and I honestly was thinking about it yesterday. And I just can't, I remember in college playing way too much World of Warcraft and all that sort of stuff. But arcades, I think, were a big deal. And we just, I think we went to my neighbor's house and we played a lot of Nintendo Switch 64, all that stuff. But you know, I was thinking what you said about, and I really, it's a good conversation. I hope is your mom was telling you about don't play these games because of what these characters are wearing, like the Street Fighter, Chun-Li, and whatnot, and thinking, what was I told? And so, well, I wasn't told don't dress like this orc or this barbarian warrior. Like, no, don't put a shirt on. There wasn't anything like that for me as a boy growing up. But I think about, you know, and I want to talk in a little bit about your work now with students. But I guess, what thoughts do you have around the conversation with girls versus boys right now? and about video games, which I feel like a lot of the conversation with boys is time spent, too much time, and girls may be, why are you doing this? Why don't you do something more girly? Is that the same conversation that might have been 20 years ago, 30 years ago? What's the difference, or is there any difference?
I think that it's really similar, because I'm always surprised. Like, I tell my kids about my experience growing up and like being into anime, being into video games. And while friends are, they love you and things like that. But looking back, people may have considered the way my friends talk to me about liking these things bullying, because they would just be like, oh, don't do that, or don't, why would you do that, or things like that. And I think today's girls, still, it's the conversation of, you could be doing so many better things than playing a video game. And when I hear people talk to boys, it's like you said, it's go touch some grass, or go get in the sun. But like, after a long day of work, I love nothing more than getting my Nintendo Switch and playing Animal Crossing, because it's a good way to de-stress, to get out my anxieties, to not think about the day. And when I have those conversations with my kids, it's a lot similar. And parents that have their students, like in my esports club, they say similar things, like, my child is coming out of their shell. My child, they're talking a lot more. I didn't even know they were in the house, and now I hear them talking, or things like that. And I think a lot of the stereotypes that existed back when I was in high school in 2012, giving away my age, they still exist today. And I feel like it's incumbent upon me as a woman, and as a woman gamer, as well as a teacher to my students, to constantly sort of point out those stereotypes and make sure that kids know, like, first of all, not okay. And second of all, let's look beyond stereotypes when we are meeting people, or when we're even judging
everyone,
people.
welcome back.
Yeah. Wow. Great. 100%. Very well said. Well, let's before we get into your work, and Kimus, what's up? How's it going, man? Yeah, new Fortnite coming out. So the work you did, you're a Tiger, you're LSU Tiger,
Whoop, whoop.
right? And
Go Tigers.
And what was the on-campus? What was gaming like for you in college, like especially LSU?
Ooh, gaming at LSU? That's a good question. It was there. I could not heavily be into it.
Yeah.
I would say that, not that it wasn't open or anything, it was more so of like the time. And I think similarly to how my students are, like around finals and stuff like that, everyone sort of disappears. It was a great way to make connections, but like, I love LSU's esports program now, because the students go there, they game, they compete, they hang out with each other, they make friends. And I guess the reason people have asked me before, like, oh, why do you call it a community? And I was like, because that's my people. Like, it's people like me that, I think it's because, like, some people are introverts and some people are extroverted introverts. I'm probably like an extroverted introvert. I can be, big and energy and all that stuff, but it takes a lot out of me. So just getting to sit, play a game, talk about it monotonely with people that know what I'm talking about, it's such I feel like it's the best way to spend my time.
Awesome. So your experience, there was not a Halo LAN party situation in dorms, or was there?
Oh, you know what too? Like, that was also my problem. I was a commuter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that was
sure.
the thing too. I definitely, that's funny that you bring that up because I did my master's thesis on student engagement and success rates.
Okay.
With students that stay on campus versus students that don't stay off campus. And I believe my survey said that 67% of commuters or students that stay off campus don't matriculate to graduation. I did.
Yeah, okay.
I did. I made it. I graduated. But that also impacted like my ability to like really be involved. But like now the students at LSU, they've come to like my high school and have met with like my students, and like they looking at the setup and they want to come back and things like that. So I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
Wow. Well, you mentioned your master's. I mean, that'd be it's your dissertation. You said.
Yeah.
With your master, that's at Northwestern State.
Northwestern, yeah. So I got my undergrad in elementary and special education.
Oh, nice.
From LSU, yes, double majored. Only took me an extra year,
Nice.
And then I went to Northwestern to get my master's in student affairs and higher education. Because my thing has always been, I guess, growing up socioeconomically disadvantaged, or if any of my students are listening, poor, you miss out on a lot of opportunities. And so that was part of the reason why I really wanted to become a teacher, because I was fortunate that I had teachers that saw things in me. And so they would use their own resources, or they would, put me in contact or put my mom in contact with people to further my education. And growing up, I just saw that a lot of other kids didn't have those opportunities. And my biggest concern teaching high school for now 7 years has been what happens to my students after they leave me. And I would check in on a lot of them, and they might not be in school, they might be working, but they were doing something that they weren't passionate about or something that they weren't happy with. And so I literally chose to go and get my master's in student affairs so that I could intern and work a little bit at the college level, see what the college experience, because I got my master's in 2017, so it's not hugely different. But going back into a student's mindset, going from high school to college, and not exactly being success oriented, even though you're paying money to be there, so you should be success oriented. But to help them take advantage of programs, of scholarships, of internships, of sponsorships that would get them more involved on campus, but also get them that tuition money to be able to actually pay to go to college. So luckily I've been able to use a lot of those connections and skills to help my students, connect them with professionals in the video game industry to get internships, get specializations in video game design or level design or whatever it is that they want to do. And I think it's just, I feel like it's when you're doing a project and you're sort of like, what's next? I feel like a lot of people forget that high schoolers graduate from high school and they're like, what's next? And if they don't do exactly what their parents tell them to do, they don't know what's next is. And we don't want them to be confused about that, because we don't want them to do nothing. We want them to go do something, but we got to guide them on their way to doing something. So I'm really glad I did student affairs. It's helped my kids so much. And that's been great.
That is awesome, because there's very limited resources at a high school level on what to do next, or it's almost prescriptive, I would say, because here's what everybody does: just follow this path. And it sounds like you have more in there's a lot more intentionality there.
Oh
what you've learned.
Yeah, and that just comes from also my SPED background. Like everybody's different, everybody's goals is different. So yeah, it's like what you said, like that formula doesn't work for everybody. Like if I'm not going to college, what do I do?
Yeah.
Or if I'm going to a trade school, what do I do? So yeah, like you gotta meet the needs of whatever kid you're talking to in the moment, and you have to be knowledgeable. I hate I hate feeling like I'm talking about something and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to Google real quick. I'm gonna go read a book. I'm gonna go get a degree in it.
Yeah. There we go. I like that. I love that. Well, then so with what you learned, and you talked about your undergrad, double majoring in special education. That's where you started first, right? In special education at University of View Academy, and you spent quite a few years there doing that. And you now have fully. Are you? I guess I want to know, did you move out of the classroom or into a specific role? Like, how is that journey from 2018 special education into what you do now at university?
It's an interesting one, I will say, because I started out in brick and mortar, and my mentor brought me over to University of View Academy. And what was awesome about it was my niece and nephew already went to the school. So I had met teachers chaperoning field trips. And so they all knew me. And so that was great. Like I was familiar with the school. And then I started out in special education. And I was working with mild, moderate students. And that was sort of where I got into the what is next for y'all type thing. And so probably most people aren't familiar with like how a virtual school teaches. So we meet with our kids daily. But also our kids are, learning from home. So everybody equates it to COVID times when they're like, yeah, I'm teaching from Zoom. I'm like, no, it's a little bit different for us because we were on the up and up because we had already been doing it, luckily. But it's the same thing you would do if you were teaching in a brick and mortar school, but the kids are at home. But the problem you might run into is engagement. How do I know that a kid is actually paying attention to this long lecture I got to give? How do I know that? So what I started doing was incorporating video games into my SPED lessons. So we played a time game to learn about time. We used Tetrio to learn about foundational skills. And then we started playing Minecraft to do a bunch of things. So to learn our tens, ones, and hundreds and stuff like that. And the kids were familiar with the game, so there wasn't that much of a learning curve. And the kids at the end of the year were just like, Miss Moliere, can you make a club? Can we do this? And I was thinking, I don't have time really to do this. But then COVID hit. hit, and then I had nothing but time. And my coworker, Dr. Mitchell, she actually started the Esports Club at the school. She brought me in, and then I kind of took it over. But I still go to her, and she interacts with the club for a lot of the career aspects of it because she's a CTE teacher.
Great.
But that's basically, it's weird. That's how it went from me being a teacher in the classroom, doing a club, but then parents were asking for it. They were asking for more of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the time to do it full time. And so then my school said, hey, we're going to make a technology center. We're going to put an esports lab in it.
Yeah.
Why don't you be the esports coordinator? And I was like, you don't have to ask me twice. Yes, I will take that job. But I still teach. I still
in that room or in the technology center, or you have another
No, my office is in there, but I still teach virtually. The kids come in weekly, and we do competitions.
Nice.
We do community game nights. We do girls in gaming. We do everything,
sweet.
and I bit off more than I could chew this year. But yeah, I'm gonna be offering a Minecraft club to elementary and middle this upcoming school year, because I want them to be able to do like the farm craft challenges and stuff.
Yeah, right. When they
yes,
yeah.
which are awesome. But it's I won't lie, it's not easy doing it all by myself.
Yeah.
But it's super rewarding. A lot of my kids, our high school graduation is actually tomorrow.
Wow.
And my kids that have been with me since I started the club are graduating, and I just know I'm going to be a blubbering mess.
Yeah.
Like having to say goodbye to them.
Right.
And I guess I like trying to make it full circle. I'm always looking at like what I'm doing, and I always wish that I could do more or offer more to the kids, and that always kind of makes me disappointed, I guess, in myself. But the messages that I've been getting from students and parents about the impact that like esports has had on them, and that's why I know I'm going to be a mess at graduation, because I'm like it already makes me so emotional just thinking about it. Like you don't, when you're in the moment, you don't know the impact that the work you're doing has on people, and students don't always take the time to say thank you, or hey, this did this for me, or I really benefited from that. You don't know. So getting those like emails, getting those phone calls has just like, it's so, I'm like, I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing with my life and my career.
Right. The benefits that you're seeing, not just for yourself, what the kids are doing for you, obviously that we think, look what these kids are doing, but the benefits you also reap from it, I would say.
Oh yeah. It's been cool. It's a blessing. I
love that.
I'm so happy.
And you have your own kids as well, like that?
I do not, and the kids always make fun of that.
Oh really?
Because they're like they're always saying they think I have no life because I have no children to go home to. And they're like, we'll be your kids, Miss Moliere. I'm like, no. No thanks.
That's hilarious.
Love you, but go home.
Yeah. Yes. So that I really love that story. Thanks for sharing that. And the farmcraft thing is really fun. My boys, my three boys, we did the Rube Goldberg one maybe 3 years ago. We had so much fun. We all just building stuff together in our little world, and we just had a lot of fun with that. And we didn't do the Farmcraft one this year, or when they did it last year, but it's also nice getting that access to that Minecraft account for free, which is super awesome.
And the mods that they that the Farmcraft team like do with it, it's gorgeous, but it's also like it got my students asking like, how did they do this? And I was like, all right, I might need to call somebody and be like, how did y'all do this? My students are interested.
Yeah, there's so many, though. There's so much you can code and mod in there for sure. So where do you see? I mean, you sound like you don't have any time to breathe with what you're doing. But where do you see? Well, I guess first let's go with the next year, and then we'll look at like 2 to 5 years. But like first, next year, where do you see your esports program and what you're doing next year? What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited. I'm kind of excited about everything, but I'm really excited to, I would say, make it more of a full-fledged program by really making those other pieces of esports integral to the program, like the shoutcasting, the broadcasting, the journalism, getting kids to want to be on camera. I'm really excited to make time to add those things in. We're trying to add in computer science courses, coding courses, some of which I'll be teaching. I'm gonna be an exhausted mess. It's okay though. But I think for this year, the 24-25 school year, having a full high school, middle school, elementary school running independently of myself, like I really want the younger kids to take more ownership of the club, and I think by adding in those other parts of it, they'll do that. And also working on a mentorship program between high school, middle and elementary.
Yes.
And then trying to get LSU students to come in and also support and mentor my high schoolers so that they're a lot more comfortable once they do go off to high school. That might be overzealous, but
no,
I'm gonna try.
I know. I'm trying to think of LSU and what they have in the sense of gaming clubs and esports. What I don't recall.
They have a full a full esports lab.
Yeah.
They have the club, but they also compete. So they compete within the state, and I would have to ask the president. I'm pretty sure they compete nationally as well, but I don't want to speak for him because I'm not sure. But yeah, no, they have a full esports lab, and then they also have their digital design and emergent media program.
Okay.
Which they use Unreal Engine in there. Wow. They have students, and I'm not sure about undergrad, but I know they have master's level students.
Wow.
And possibly undergrads using the technology, making content, putting it on YouTube, putting it, on the local PBS and things like that. So they have a lot. They're working on curriculum. I'm really excited to see what else comes out of there.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website now, and the past 3 years I've gone to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup National Championships, and there's 84 colleges that show up, but there's still 160 that just don't make it, because it's the top teams. But I mean, Rocket League and Valorant, Overwatch are what the games they play at LSU. But yeah, there's so much competition out there.
Yeah.
And I told them, like, hey, there needs to be a separate like NIT tournament like there is for NCAA basketball. There needs to be another level of competition, which, take that however you want. I mean, when I went to Oklahoma State, so our basketball team got in the NIT pretty often, which we'd call the not invited tournament. So we were
cold.
We weren't doing it. But I love that you mentioned the shoutcasting. Curriculum or stuff you need to, because I got to help write some shoutcasting curriculum, and I know I'll DM it to you on LinkedIn. But
please do.
Yeah, so it's if that may save you a little bit of time.
It definitely will. I think the great thing, and also like the hard thing about doing anything with esports, is that I feel like when you're developing curriculum, you need professionals, but you also need educators. I've looked at curriculum that's just developed by professionals, and it's not really teachable. And then educators, they're missing that professional, I'm currently in this industry experience. And I'm just always thinking to myself, I'm like, I really wish that people would collaborate a little bit more on that. Because then it would be, content that teachers want to teach, that actually also meets what we want students to be doing and getting out of it.
I couldn't agree more. I'm the educator / professional as an author. The other 4 people in it are Christy. She's a award-winning curriculum writer, and then Mike was an educator and esports coach. Then this guy, he is a mental health professional,
Mm-hmm.
and then Heidi is a gamer and a coach, and so it was real fun to work with that, because I learned from the, I mean, I've been teaching at higher ed for 10 years, so I didn't teach in high school, and the idea of understanding how to teach teachers to teach was just something I didn't understand how to write. So I didn't know how to write that. So all I knew was how to make videos of teaching people how to use their computer and their camera and how to shoutcast correctly. And so luckily I got to be the expert side of what does it take to become a shoutcaster, and what are the tools you need and what roles there are and how to practice and what's the lingo and how do you prepare a portfolio, how do you get hired, like all that stuff. Because I deal with a lot of shoutcasters a lot, but I guess when you're working with your kids, man, I would think that's because the path of journalism and like sports broadcasting is in our industry, we don't have a lot of sports broadcasters, because that's just not where people are learning to be shoutcasters. They are experience the game, going to events, and then practicing their craft while becoming it, because we don't have a lot of really any collegiate shoutcasting things for that matter. NASEF has a shoutcasting curriculum. There's different things out there, but yeah, there's not enough. So yeah, create your curriculum, because everybody should, and because we need it.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. It's like, that's my thing. I'm like, even I feel like, especially in the world of esports, like, mental health is so important, but it would also be great to have a mental health professional that can lead those conversations, and then someone with experience in gaming and esports. Like, I read a lot of psychology journals.
Oh, really?
On the impact that gaming has on students and their brains, and that's how also kids, I feel like, taking the information, like giving them statistics, giving them examples of like knowing why this should be important to you, why you should care about this. Because I never feel comfortable letting my kids compete, and like, we don't do our mantras before the game, or even pulling them to the side. Like, we have debriefs afterwards about what we did, what we need to do better. I was just telling a friend earlier, I said I had a student who, like, in practices, I noticed would verbally give up in the game when the game was like nowhere near over. It was Splatoon. And we had to have like a conversation about how what we verbally put out in the world can become real. And we talked about examples of that and how that can, and I said, don't you feel like you kind of mentally, you're not in it once you say, oh, it's over, the game's over. I'm like, no, you're letting down yourself and your team, and then we would win anyway. But that student would just get defeated real early, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I wish I had more of a psychology background so I could create content. But I also know psychology and mental health professionals, so I was like, let me plug those individuals, talk to them about how they would teach it, and then do that.
You're hitting on a ton of really good stuff, because every part of if first of all, if there's something, so I have this whole resource for the VideoGames Esports Foundation of all the benefits and all the supporting mental health, cognitive skills, psychological, everything. I want to send you this, and there's something missing that we need to be talking about in this document around the psychology of gaming. I would take any feedback. I would send this to you.
Send it my way.
Yeah. But this is also a guide that honestly came out of, for years, just having the same, for many years, having the same conversation of talking to so many teachers and them saying, hey, I heard about this esports and who's this ninja guy? And it came out of like, how do I create a guide for them? And we, luckily we have a lot of great guides now that provide these first steps for a lot of schools. that a lot of organizations have put together. But it stemmed from that to how do you now combat the objections, common objections, and how do you prove there's value, but also show that there's also addiction and there's also struggle. In gaming, no matter, even if you're in a safe environment with a teacher in a school, or if not. So there's all of it. Well, last thoughts here as we wrap up. So that was kind of, you're excited about next year. Where do you see the next 2 to 5 years for what you're doing at University of View Academy with the esports program? Where do you want it to be?
That is, sorry, I'm getting murked currently. Oh my god. And my characters are in cooldown. Okay. Where do I see it going? My lofty goal. My lofty goal. Is to help facilitate a coaches association in Louisiana, because for us, esports is still not sanctioned. And that could be bad, but that could also be great, because it gives the people that are actually in the space the ability to have more of a say-so in how esports is carried out. But I think most importantly, having the ability to bring it to all of our students. That's, in terms of Louisiana, that's really something that I hope I get to see or get to be a part of. And with UVA, my also other lofty goal is to not just have a K-12 esports program, but to offer a pathway for kids that actually want to go to college. And then especially since we're seeing that emerging in our colleges now, like LSU and their digital design and emergent media. Southern has their esports program. AIE is in Louisiana now, and they're working on video game design, all like the different aspects with students, and these are being offered as associates and undergrad programs. So is to really not send my kids out into the world unprepared for that, but almost ready to like take full advantage of it. Like they're not just going to college. It's sort of like how we make, we have our core content courses, English, math, science, and social studies. But if I want to go into video game design, then I need some graphic design background. I need, maybe I should have some good English scores because maybe I want to write. And also just to kind of be like a hub for even game jams for students to get together, work it. That's my next
game
thing.
jams. Game jams.
Did you know that Hollow Knight came from a game jam?
That makes a ton of sense.
I was like, what? I like watching Hollow Knight speedruns.
Oh yeah.
And so I saw that and I was like, what? Hollow Knight came from a game jam. And I told my students about that, and I was like, because they want to make video games. And I said, well, you can be doing that right now. I want to make sure that I show my students that the things that they're doing currently is not a waste of time, that it's a good use of time because you're getting something out of it regardless. But I would like for my school to have a fully functioning program, so whether I'm there or not, the program goes on, the kids benefit from it, their parents can see the benefits, and also teachers can then take these things and feel more comfortable or excited even to put it into their classes and really use it to like engage students in their own learning. That's I don't know. It's lofty. I feel like it's lofty,
that's amazing.
That's my goal.
Well, I think that's, and you talk about Louisiana and the state for, I mean, the High School Athletic Association did some stuff at Playfly last year. And then obviously Chris, you mentioned at Southern University with Chris Turner and what he's done with Vanta So like there's things. Yeah, it's just it's every state has this issue of everybody trying to all do it together.
Yes.
And it's a very common state issue right now. Well, for the past 4 or 5 years. But that's what it's going to take, is all of us states doing the same thing of collaborating within our own states. Just as much as soccer had to do the same thing, and rodeo or debate or whatever, they all had to do this. They all had to do these things early on to make it work for everybody across the state.
Right.
And there was a lot of swelling and then consolidation, and it's just going to take that. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it reminds me of what you said about like having regions at the college level, and I was like, yeah, that would be awesome if there was like a North American esports, a South. Because I'll like talk to people in Texas and Florida. I'll be like, we should like have like an esports conference where our students like play each other, and they're like, that's so smart, let's do it. And I'm like, wait, I need stakeholder buy-in.
Yeah. Well, in the college space, we have 700 different acronyms for all the leagues and conferences.
Oh my god.
And this is the what's great is they all tend to get together finally, after a lot of like just working in silos. But no one's trying to like buy anybody out or whatever. It's just a lot of colleges play in 5 or 6 different conferences. And like the newest one, Big Esports, is a lot of Big Ten schools, but they can't be called Big Ten. And then like an ECAC was a lot of schools on the East Coast, but now people from all over North America play, and same thing with high schools. High schools play in 3-4 leagues that are out there. And we all say, and I think that most people agree, is there's room for everybody, and there's opportunities for all sorts of different organizations. And when there's teachers involved and there's professionals involved, it gets done right.
You need everybody. It's like Michael Jackson's "We Are the World."
We are the world. Oh my!
Let's hold hands, everybody.
Yes.
And do it together.
Yeah. And then here in Georgia, came us in the chat. Yeah, Georgia's got a great Atlanta stuff Todd Harris is doing, and Ryan Johnson at Community, lots of amazing stuff. Ghost, so good. And Atlanta, they like to say they are the mecca of esports. Sure, Atlanta, whatever.
This don't impact me at all. I'm K-12, so I'm like, go all the way Atlanta, all the way Jersey, all the way Cali. Y'all do y'all. I take no sides.
There we go. Well, I'm going to give you the 60-second hot seat to talk about whatever you want. You get the screen all to yourself, and you can tell people to. You can tell people to follow you on socials or whatever you want to talk about. Whatever you want, you get 60 seconds, and it's all yours. Here you go.
Sure. Yay. Yes. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I am also on Instagram at SheWhoBeAwkward. Check out University of View Academy's website. Take a look at what our school is doing for our virtual students and in the state of Louisiana. And keep an eye out for Lynx Esports in Louisiana. We're going to have a big year, 24-25. And I hope that you guys can join us for it. So, yes.
Thank you. And that's right. Lynx Esports, since I wanted to talk about that before you go, tell me about Lynx Esports, please.
Lynx Esports, that's the esports club at University of View Academy. The Lynx is, of course, our mascot. But yeah, Lynx Esports, the students, I was like, what are we calling our esports team, our group? And they were like, they came up with a lot of names, not all appropriate. And then they settled on Lynx Esports. So yeah.
Oh, I see this logo in your LinkedIn, and I thought this was different from what you're doing at school. I thought this might have been.
It's not official. That is not the official logo. That's what we're gonna get that together this school year. So.
I thought that might have been something different, like a all fem or something, like, because Lynx, like, that's a typical
That's actually the background that I use with my girls. And I was like, well, I'm a girl, so I used it for LinkedIn.
Yeah, 100%. Got it. Even better. Love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out and chat and play some games. And man, it was fun to get to know you. I hope, please connect. I put your LinkedIn in the chat for people. Thank you so much for being amazing and hanging out with me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I had fun. I'm level 18 in Genshin now.
Oh, you're legit.
Yeah, I love it.
I gotta catch up. Well, thank you again. Stay amazing. I'm gonna shut down the show, and I will talk to you later.
Alrighty. Thanks, Bubba.
See ya. Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out today. We played a little bit of Genshin Impact. That was so much fun. Man, if you're interested in learning more about what she does, please check out the LinkedIn. Thank you guys for coming. So many people in the chat. Kimmis, thanks for stopping in and saying hello. And I appreciate you guys. Have a great Memorial Day weekend and stay amazing. Bye.
Hello there, gamers and mental health enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking study that explores the intersection of scholarly gaming and mental health education, and how it can impact the self-esteem of adolescents. Picture this: a world where scholarly gaming isn't just about mastering technology-based career skills or dominating the world of video game business. No, it's a world where gaming becomes a gateway to improving mental health. 3 visionary educators and a school-based health intervention expert came together to create a curriculum that aligns with academic guidelines from the International Society for Technology Education. This curriculum spans 40 lessons, delivered over 14 weeks with a minimum of 120 minutes per week. But here's the twist: 83 schools were invited to participate, but they were divided into 2 groups, those with mental health moments and those without. The non-mental health moment group got the scholarly gaming curriculum alone, while the mental health moment group got an extra layer of education. Mental health moments were embedded into 27 lessons, integrating concepts from the PERMA framework and the collaborative academic, social, and emotional learning standards, otherwise known as CASEL. Now, let's meet our players. 471 participants from both groups, with almost 75% in high school, many experiencing scholarly gaming for the first time. A majority were male, and the racial diversity was broad. At the start, the average self-esteem score was 17.9, with 22.1% reporting low self-esteem. But hold on, the game's just beginning. As the study progressed, it revealed some fascinating results. While 57.7% of participants with low self-esteem at the beginning reported average self-esteem post-intervention, the mental health moments group stole the spotlight. Self-esteem scores improved by 8.3% in the mental health moments group, compared to no change in the non-mental health moments group. How's that for a power-up? Some students even shifted from abnormally low self-esteem scores to normal ranges. The message is loud and clear. Educators, healthcare providers, and adolescent advocates pay attention. Non-traditional educational instructions, like scholarly gaming, combined with mental health moments, can significantly improve students' well-being. And there you have it, a journey through the power of scholarly gaming and mental health moments. Remember, your self-esteem matters, and sometimes all it takes is a little extra support to level up. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep gaming, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.